Hello everyone. So I tend to lean toward PlayStation in a lot of the topics on this channel. Is just where I play most of my games, just what I do. So I think it's time that I talk about Bloodborne. I'm surprised I haven't made a video about this already, but I'm glad I waited, just because of some recent developments with the PS4 emulator. So as we all know, Sony refuses to do anything with Bloodborne, whether that be a 60 FPS patch, a remaster, or a full-blown remake. No one knows why, and it really is a mystery, but I'm here to tell you guys that Sony has missed their chance, and they are pretty much out of time to make their buck of a Bloodborne remaster or director's cut or whatever they want to call it. Why do I say that? Well, I've been keeping up with the progress of Shad PS4, which is a PS4 emulator, and I don't know the exact time frame, but let's just say a few months ago, maybe sooner, probably sooner, they've been trying to get Bloodborne running on this emulator, and it's been making progress very steadily, but I don't know what changed, but somewhat recently, they've been making insane progress on getting Bloodborne to run as well as they can on there, better than an actual PS4 in some cases already. That's the gameplay you're seeing in the background right now, by the way. And so I just got done watching a video from Some Ordinary Gamers, which I will link in the description because it is a good video, where he was talking about exactly this, and pretty much just showcasing how far Shad PS4 has come. And the game is not perfect yet, but 60 FPS I hear is pretty easy to achieve. Not a stable one, but you can hit 60 FPS a lot of the time. Most textures are displaying as they should now, and there's less frequent crashes, if any, which was not the case 2 months ago. 2 months ago, I saw Shad PS4 was able to boot Bloodborne to the main menu, and that was it. That's all they had back then, at that time. And even then, the colors were off on the menu, like it was like a red for some reason, when it is not supposed to look like that, but it was huge at the time that they even managed to get the game to boot up, because that is what the struggle was back then. And back then I was thinking, okay, maybe in 2 to 3 years we'll actually get this emulator running like an actual PS4, probably better. But here we are like 2 months later after that, and the game is playable at above 30 FPS. That's insane. There's still texture bugs and stuff like that, but around this time next year, I believe the game will be damn near flawless on Shad PS4. So the reason I say Sony is out of time is because we have a way to play Bloodborne on PC now. We don't need Sony to give us our 60 FPS anymore. We gave it to ourselves. Of course, it's not perfect yet, but soon enough it will be. They had their chance to make millions off of a Bloodborne remaster, and for whatever fucking reason, they chose not to. So that is a massive missed opportunity. And look, even if they announced and released a Bloodborne remaster, say next year, by that point, the Shad PS4 version will get you the same thing, but for absolutely free. And something Mudahar from Some Ordinary Gamers said in his Bloodborne video that I actually agree with, is that even if they do a remaster that, I don't know, has extra content or something, or has some other factor that you can only get from Sony's remaster, not only will a lot of people just stick to the Shad PS4 version, but some people might literally stay away from the remaster out of spite, just to show them that they should have done this a long time ago. The only scenario where I can see everyone jumping on board the re-release of Bloodborne is if they release a full-blown remake, along the lines of Bluepoint's Demon Souls remake. If they did that, most people would not be able to resist buying that. Seeing a game that so many people love so much look better than it ever has, that would be absolutely insane. And for all we know, that could be what they're doing, and it's just taking a while. But I personally believe that for whatever reason, they just don't think Bloodborne is worth bringing back. A theory I've seen floating around is that Sony is waiting for it to be a PlayStation 6 launch title. This sounds like complete cope to me. In my opinion, there is no chance they would deliberately skip the entire generation when people have been begging for this ever since the PS5 release, which was almost 4 years ago now. And let's not kid ourselves, we're not seeing a PlayStation 6 for another 3 years minimum. Even if they started development in 2020 or 2021, that is still plenty of time for them to get something Bloodborne related out there. I think we just have to accept that Sony isn't interested in Bloodborne despite its popularity. It's fucking bizarre, and it really is a mystery, but I guess it is what it is. But good news is that if you have a gaming PC, soon enough you'll be able to play Bloodborne from start to finish in 60+ FPS. I also forgot to mention that there are 87 mods for Bloodborne on Nexus Mods already, nearly 100 mods for a game that is essentially in its alpha stage within less than a year. That is how much people want and like this game. That is how sought after this game is. That is how much money Sony is missing out on. So some people are wondering if Sony is going to take this down with a cease and desist, and honestly, I don't think they would, especially if they genuinely aren't planning on doing anything with the IP themselves. If they're planning on using the IP, then yes, they very well might take this down, but I don't think that's the case, personally. On the other hand, if they take this version of Bloodborne down and don't do anything with the IP, that would be so scummy, like unbelievably scummy, but would also look really bad in the public eye for that. That would not go down well at all. It'd be like why did you guys just lock Bloodborne in a cage and stop people from enjoying it at all costs? Like, what is going on with that? Let's hope that doesn't happen, since that's essentially the absolute worst case scenario. I don't want to give anyone hope, and this is highly unlikely in my opinion, but Bluepoint has been working on whatever their next project is for years at this point, and nothing has leaked about it, and no one knows what it is. So I mean, maybe it's Bloodborne. I don't know, dude. I don't know what to think at this point. Sony seems to hate Bloodborne and hate us as well. So, but yeah, that's about all I had to say. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.